touch it, Femi, and your madness will be complete.
You will not believe life could be like this in Ota, Ogun State. If you have never lived in Ota, then you will not understand how a man like Bobaton could exist and still feel normal. Ota swallows strange things and digests them quietly. People come here to hide from death, from disgrace, from relatives, from destiny itself. The town does not ask questions. It only provides roofs and silence. That was why he came. This is the story of his Femi Adeyemi. 5 years ago, Femi believed his life was about to begin. He was 29, freshly employed as a junior banking officer in Ikeja, wearing his first real suit and learning how to speak English with confidence. He had a fiancée, Stella, whose laughter made even traffic feel temporary. They had plans, Canada plans, wedding plans, baby name plans. The kind of plans Nigerians make when hope is still cheap. Then rent entered the conversation. Lagos rent does not joke. It announces itself like bad news from the village, sudden, violent, unavoidable. A friend mentioned Ota. Ota is calm, he said. Cheap houses. Just cross the border small. That was how Femi found number 6 Ajigana compound, a faded 2-story building painted the color of old bone. 10 rooms. 1 long corridor. A single well in the middle of the compound like a blind eye staring upward. And that was how he met Bobaton. The first miracle. He did not look like a landlord. Landlords in Ota usually come with shouting voices and pot-bellies, chewing toothpicks like weapons. Bobaton was thin, almost fragile, with a beard that refused to turn fully white. His eyes were kind in a way that made you feel embarrassed for doubting him. You are welcome, my son, he said, taking Femi's hand in both of his. God brought you. Femi expected him to ask for 2 years' rent. Or at least 1 year plus agreement plus caution plus inspection fee that never inspects anything. Instead, he laughed softly. Rent, he said. Oh. We will talk about that later. Later never came. Femi paid nothing. When Femi returned the following month with cash, he waved it away. The economy is hard, he said gently. Buy milk and sugar for yourself. After 3 months, the compound began whispering. The 10 rooms. There were 10 of them. 10 lives quietly unfolding under one roof. Mama Chidinma in room 4 sold second-hand clothes at Sango Market. Loud, cheerful, always singing gospel songs while washing clothes. Papa Obina in room 1 was a retired car dealer with stories about when money still listened to him. Busy and Conmi, a young couple always fighting and making up in loud cycles. Adewale, a final year student who never graduated. Rashid, a boat driver who worked night shifts and slept during the day. Auntie Busy, whose laughter came too easily. Sola, quiet, polite, invisible. And Femi. Every single one of them had tried to pay rent. Every single one of them had been refused. God sent him, Mama Chidinma declared one evening, spreading her wrapper on the corridor floor. This man is not ordinary. We agreed. We should not have. The prayer room. Bobaton had one rule. Never enter the prayer room. It was a small extension behind his flat on the ground floor, sealed with a heavy iron door that looked older than the house itself. From outside, you could sometimes smell incense, or something burnt, something metallic. If you need prayers, call me, he told us. But do not enter there. The angel of the Lord stays inside. Angel. In Ota, people respect angels. We mind our business. The pattern. It started quietly. Femi lost his job in the bank. They said restructuring. They always say restructuring when they mean you are disposable. He told himself it was temporary. Then interviews began going wrong. He would sit confidently, CV polished, shoes shining. But once he opened his mouth, His tongue would betray him. Words tangled. His voice shook. Sometimes it disappeared completely, like someone had turned down a volume knob inside his throat. He watched interviewers exchange glances. "Thank you for coming," they would say. Outside, he would sweat in places sweat should not exist. At home, Bobaton smiled. "Do not worry, my son," he said. "God is working." Others began falling. Mama Chidinma stopped selling clothes. First, her customers stopped coming. Then her capital vanished, misplaced, she said. Soon she was begging for Gary, sitting quietly by the well she once joked around. Papa Obina had a stroke. One morning, we found him on the corridor floor, one side of his body folded wrongly, mouth twisted like melted rubber. After the hospital bills swallowed his savings, his scars disappeared one by one. Now he walked barefoot, eyes empty, muttering prayers to no one. Busy lost her pregnancy. Conmi disappeared. Adewale never graduated. Year after year, new lecturers, new excuses. His project supervisor kept changing. His hope thinned. Every misfortune came with the same consolation. At least rent is free. We laughed less each time we said it. The night Bobaton traveled. The night everything broke open was the night Bobaton traveled to his village for a festival. He announced it casually. "I will be away for 3 days," he said. "Pray for Johnny Mercy." He forgot to lock the prayer room. Femi noticed it just before midnight. The iron door was slightly open. Just a crack. Like an eye pretending to sleep. Femi tried to ignore it. He washed. He prayed. He lay down. But curiosity is a disease. Once it enters, it does not need permission. At 12:47 a.m., Femi stood up. The room of red light. The door creaked like it had been waiting for me. Inside, the room was darker than darkness, lit only by red candles arranged carefully on the floor. The air was thick, hot, suffocating, smelling of palm oil, blood, and something sweetly rotten. He wanted to leave. Then he saw the doors. 10 clay doors. Arranged in a perfect circle. Each one had a small cardboard name tag tied to its neck with black thread. His heart began to knock against my ribs. He recognized the names before he read them. Mama Chidinma. The doll was wrapped in dirty rags. Papa Obina. Its legs were snapped in half. Busy. Its belly was cracked open. Femi. His name stared back at him. His doll was wrapped tightly in black nylon. There was a small padlock forced through its mouth. He touched his throat. He understood everything. The calabash. At the center of the circle sat a large calabash. It was filled to the brim with fresh 1,000 Nigerian Nairas notes. Crisp. New. Smelling like banks and lies. Rent. This was rent. Not money. Destiny. A sudden voice broke the silence. If you break it, you die. It did not sound human. I turned slowly. A large black cat sat on Bobaton's wooden chair. It looked at Femi with eyes that had watched generations fail. Touch it, Femi, the cat said calmly. And your madness will be complete. He ran. The call. He did not stop running until his lungs screamed. His phone rang. Boba turned. He did not pick up. A text came in. My son, why are you running? The rent is due. Come back and pay with your head. Femi stared at the screen until the letters blurred. His passport was still in that house. His certificates. His clothes. His life. Behind him, somewhere in Ota, a house stood quietly, still offering free rent. And he knew, deep in his bones, that Bobaton was not the landlord. He was only the caretaker.